Pump it up. She got a good head on her, but I pump it up. I'm not a one-hit wonder, they know all my stuff. You let me turn it to the nigga.
All right, welcome everybody to the first episode of First and 10 presented by Redzone Football. I'm your host, CJ Ponzo, aka Simply CJ. We're going to talk to Shane Stewart, commissioner, co-founder of Redzone. Talk about what to expect this year, sort of some predictions, what sim football looks like to us, and just some different things for the league, what you guys can expect. So, first of all, Shane, welcome to First and 10. We're excited to kick things off with you this year. How you doing today?
What's up, man? I'm doing good. Excited to get things going.
All right. So before we get started with the questions, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself, about your history in the league, and sort of day-to-day what being a commissioner looks like.
God, there's a lot to it, man. I think I first started playing with you guys in 2009 for Madden 10. It was the first year I played with the BFL guys, Bulletproof Football, for those that was here in those days. I started out with the Titans, put in 3 or 4 hard years waiting on my team to come open, and I've been with the Ravens ever since. But it's been a long, bumpy ride. It took a couple of years before I was brought into the commissioner circle, but I feel like once I got there and you got there, I think we kind of got things under control and got them rolling where they needed to be.
For sure. So how about yourself as a player? Tell us a little bit about like your play style, the success you've had over the years, and maybe like who your biggest rival has been.
Oh, my style's changed so much, man. When I first came in the league, I was taking advantage of the running back I had, which was Chris Johnson back in his glory days. So I ran him to death. But I've fluctuated. I've been a run heavy guy, and the last couple of years I've been pass heavy. Kind of gotten away from my game just a little bit. I'm gonna try to get back into that this year, but it changes a little bit.
Biggest rival?
With what we've got right now, probably Ray Bailey. I think I've beat him a good 37 times in AFC Championship games. So, those are always fun to look forward to. That being said, I'm probably the Buffalo Bills of this league. I get to the Super Bowl and I've won 1 out of like 6, so. Jim Kelly all the way.
You could be Dan Marino. I was looking at
That's very true. It's very true.
All right, so let's get to the big question, I guess. 8 years, well, I guess 7 years because you joined when I joined, but BFL ran another year before that. We're part of that league for 7 years. You, myself, Ray, Ronnie, we decided to split out and create Redzone. What do you think went into that decision, and what makes you confident in the direction we're going?
Well, Redzone wasn't an overnight kind of thing. I think it was in the back of some of our minds for a couple of years. And I won't take anything away from BFL. We had some good times with BFL. We left some friends behind in BFL. I learned a lot about the commissioner process and had a lot of fun in Madden. But I think at the end of the day, I think we were just kind of going in some different directions. And that kind of came out the last year or two that we were with the BFL group. And I could feel like I specifically wanted to move in a different direction. I kind of felt like you wanted to move in a different direction. And those guys were more of just play when you want to play and kind of a casual kind of thing. And to me, this is where I dedicate most of my gaming time. And I just wanted to go to another level than what those guys were on. So that was most of my decision to leave.
Okay. And I think, you and I, we've talked about that for years. Even Bob a little bit, we talked about how I always wanted to sort of grow in certain areas. You agreed. We wanted to do more. We wanted to push the sim time. We wanted to just make things grow, do bigger and better things. And he was always sort of a little bit reluctant. What excites you about Redzone and sort of what are some things we can expect to be doing here?
Well, I think the first thing about Redzone that's exciting to me is I think that our level of competition is going to be a little bit higher than what we're used to. We come from BFL, and I think going into every season, I think we knew who the top 4 or 5 guys were every single year. And at this point, who knows? It's anybody's game, and I kind of like it that way. Years past, I knew it was going to be me and Ray and you and the AFC fighting it out, and Bob. NFC, we were going to have Bentley and Ronnie and Justin. Some of those guys were going to be there every time. But, we got some new blood in here. We got Spears back in the group, always tough to deal with. Brian, the new Titans owner, from the tournament play, he looks pretty solid, and he handed me a loss. So, I think we got some guys that can come in here and cause some waves.
All right, yeah. I'm excited. I think we got a good group of guys. We're going to talk a little bit more about that later too. I'm going to ask specific questions about it, but yeah, I think it was Bryce. I played him in the finals, and I was surprised to see a new guy in the finals. So that's always encouraging.
Bryce, yeah, I think I called him Brian. Bryce is his name. New guys, it's hard to keep track of everybody.
Hey, he's got to build that. Right? He's got to build to get that repertoire. So some of the guys from the previous league that made it, there's quite a few, but just off the top of my head, Root, Melvin, Steven, obviously Justin came back. Bert's back, right?
Bert's back, yeah.
So we got some guys from the league. What do you think separated these guys from maybe some of the guys that we ended up not offering an opportunity to play?
Well, it was a tough decision to move on from some of those guys. We'd built rivalries with them and, friendships outside of Madden. I played a lot of games with, Mike Bentley and Bob and some of those guys. And I'm going to miss them being here, just to be honest with you. I mean, they were always good games, and they played straight up. But at the same time, I kind of got tired of all the drama. If you won a game, it wasn't from skill or anything you did. It was because something was wrong with the game, or you did something that was completely unexpected. I just kind of got tired of hearing guys complain all the time, and I tried to take the more relaxed part of the group with us. Some of the older guys that realize that at the end of the day it's just a game and we're having fun, but they don't throw fits and cry at every corner. I mean, that kind of thing. From a commissioner standpoint, you put so much time into it and so much effort, more than any of these guys understand, and then everything you do kind of gets torn down because people are just griping and complaining about every little thing, and it just, at the end of the day, I didn't need that anymore, and I just felt like it was best to move on from it.
Yeah, I agree for sure. I think the other thing to look at is, like, we had certain guys. Chris North is one of them, who's a great guy, always good to play. He was always cool, never complained, but sort of just ran into some issues with schedule and timing. And there's a few guys who fit that category where they would just quit every year, and we sort of knew coming in, like, hey, these 2 or 3 guys probably only going to make it a season, maybe 2 seasons, and then they're going to be gone. And I think that got a little frustrating.
Yeah. Chris was one of the guys that was in NBFL when I got there. And the funny part about me and Chris live 10 minutes apart. Chris is from where I'm from here in Kentucky, and when I was recruited to BFL and joined that league, I didn't know Chris was there. So it was kind of a surprise for me to get recruited by Bob, which is, in Delaware. Yeah. And I show up in a league and there's a guy from my hometown in it, so that was kind of weird. And I hate to see Chris get left behind, but, Chris's work schedule and his family life and everything, that comes first, and I understand that. And, I would love for maybe Chris to have the opportunity to come back one day, but he just didn't fit what we were trying to do right now. And no hard feelings on either side. We've talked, and he understands what we're doing, and I understand, his availability. So it is what it is.
Yeah, for sure. So let's shift back sort of to this league, I guess. For some old guys and some new guys, what do you think about the direction of, like, media, things we could do to make this league better, to promote this league? I know I've showed you some leagues I think are doing some awesome things. Like, I'll give them a shout out, like the Madden Bomber League. They have a crazy staff that does a lot of stuff. What are some things you think we should be doing, and we are?
Yeah, Bomber, Madden Elite, that's another one, man. They're huge. And that's part of what played into my decision to leave, and yours, I think, too. Is I want to be top tier, and I want guys to want to be a part of Redzone. I don't want to be out here recruiting people, trying to find players. I want people knocking on our door because we're what they're wanting, to be a part of. And I feel like we've got that potential. Guys, I don't think they understand or respect just what how big a part you play in things around here. Aside from the time that you put in as being a commissioner, I mean, there's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that you do, and I appreciate that. I think some of these other guys would too if they knew how much you did. But the biggest thing to me that started boring me with BFLs, that guys just didn't get involved with things. And that's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see our group of guys here in Red Zone just be more active, be more involved. It's great when you show up and play your games and you respond to your opponents and everything, but it's even better when you get involved in that trash talk just a little bit. Nothing crazy and personal, but it kind of fires up the rivalry a little bit, and take part in the online polls and stuff that we put out there. And we've got a website coming. I don't think you've hinted at anything like that on the Facebook group recently, but we're going to try to integrate everything we're doing through that website. So we got to find guys that's willing to take part in that and keep that rolling, because it's a lot of time and a lot of money and a lot of effort on your part and my part and Ron and Ray. But we got to have guys that's willing to do that thing before we can get to the next level.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's talk about sim football. It's a hot topic. Everybody likes to debate in Madden what's sim football. Is it this style, is it that style? Well, and then there's always the exception. There's always a guy who says, well, this team does this 90% of the time, or this team does this. They run no huddle all game. So in your own words, we're going to go straight to the commissioner's mouth here. What's sim football look like to you?
Oh man, that's a hard question to answer. And I think we've talked about it in the commissioner group. At the end of the day, it would be nice to not have a rules page. It would be nice to have 32 guys that you could just say, listen, play realistically, and they go out and play the game the way it's supposed to be played. That's not going to happen. You know that, and I know that. Over the years, we've dealt with guys that we thought could play right, that some way, somehow, they find something to tweak along the way. But at the end of the day, it is a game, and we're trying to simulate real football as best we can. It's impossible to do, but we allow guys the possibility of using custom playbooks if they want to. It's something that we kicked around quite a bit, trying to eliminate guys coming in, running the Madden school and the YouTube plays. And you can eliminate them, but, we give guys the opportunity to run customs. My custom playbook allows me to have 500 plays, and I'm pretty sure yours does too. If I play you and I see, 9 or 10, you're probably not a sim player. If you have no running game or you make no attempt at running the ball, you're probably not a sim player, because there are teams that do that from time to time, but not as many want to do that on a Madden game. In real life, you've got Tom Brady comes out 5 wide from time to time, but most teams don't just sit in that. But if you have to rely on tricking the CPU system in a game, then you're not playing sim. It's a wide thing to answer, man. But if it's something that's going to send you into a rage if somebody does it to you, then it's probably something that you don't need to be doing to other players.
For sure. I agree, man. I think it's really hard to define what that looks like, because you have glitches, you have money plays, you have nano blitzes, you have just all these things that are available online. You have rocket catching in the past, face catching, and those are the things that sort of stand out. Some of those things are cut and dry. Like, if it's a glitch and it takes advantage of the game, then we're not going to do it. As far as money plays, I think that's harder than ever. You got YouTube, you got Madden School, you got, I think, Madden Daily. You got all these ebook sites, and it's widely available. Some for free, some guys are paying for. But I think it's about balance. It's you got a couple plays. All right, sure, you got this play, you got a third down, you need it every once in a while. You run this play, or you need to convert on third and short. Guys like to run fullback dive. All right, cool. Are you running fullback dive?
Right.
20 times a game. If you are, you're probably not playing sim football. Another thing is like quarterback rollout. A lot of guys like to scramble with quarterback, throw the deep ball. Well, that's a realistic thing. Some quarterbacks do it, and that's what makes it tough finding that balance. But again, it's about how often you're doing it, if you're taking advantage of it, if that's all you got. How do you think we can make sure our league stays true to your vision and sort of sticks to sim?
Well, I think a majority of the members that we have right now, I think most of them are where they need to be. I trust most of their styles of play, And those broken plays are going to happen, man. I mean, you can't stop that stuff from happening. There's always going to be some pressure in the pocket. There's going to be times where you perceive pressure in the pocket and it's not really there, and you take off out of panic. I've done that. Guys do that from time to time. As long as they're not doing it, every 2 or 3 plays, it's not really that big a deal to me. But we've played guys in the past and had members of our league that would do that just with the sole intention of breaking down the defensive AI so that they could exploit it, and that's what we've got to stay away from. And one thing that we did this year that we've not done in the past to try to weed some of that stuff out was the kickoff tournament, which I thought was a big success. I hated that I got the 1 seed, and I hate the hell out of the fact that you won, but it is what it is. But it was a good tool. It helped us see some of the new guys and guys that we hadn't seen play before. It helped us see what they're about and their styles and whether or not they were going to fit what we were trying to do. 1 or 2 didn't make it, but that's what the whole thing was about. And so, as far as that goes, I feel like it was a successful thing, and we'll probably continue to do that from year to year.
Yeah, for sure. It was a good thing. I was, there's so many different ways we could have went about it. I know we debated commissioners not playing in it at all, just letting new guys play in it. And that way one of us wouldn't have won. But at the same time, I think it's good that we actually got to go against some of these guys and see what they brought to the table, and vice versa. They got a feel for, hey, this is how the commissioners are playing, so this is what you should expect in this league. And I think that's good.
Yeah, and I mean, if anybody in the league knows what we're looking for, it's the commissioner group. So that was one reason I felt like it was good for us to play, because we're going to know exactly what we want other guys to do. And I know there's going to be leagues out there, man. You're in the same sim groups that I'm in on Facebook, and some of these guys are in those groups. There's commissioners out there. You go into a game and you beat them, then you can hang it up. They're going to kick you out and you're blacklisted and all this stuff. But you come into my league and you beat me. Hey, you do it the right way, I'll respect you. And I know you're the same way. Ronnie and Ray, Justin, all those guys are like that. You come in, you beat us right. It is what it is. So I don't have a problem with losing, and I don't think anybody in here does, as long as we're losing the right way.
Yeah, and it's I think it's a normal reaction sometimes when you lose to get a little upset, get frustrated, start making excuses. But as long as guys take a few minutes, I think some of the things we put in the rules, like take a minute, relook at your game, think about things before you go blowing a gasket on Facebook and stuff. I think some of that stuff will help, because all of us have done it at some point in time.
And if some of these new guys don't know this, but some of the BFL guys that's still around, I mean, if there's been two dudes in our history that's been the worst for Facebook explosions, it's probably myself and you. But if we can back up and calm down and realize where we're wrong, and get out of the Madden rage is what I like to call it, when you just get pissed off about something that happens in the game. If we can back up and chill out from that, then anybody in here can. So, Yeah,
I agree. So let's talk about sort of the competitive balance. In the past, we've done different things as far as like trying to make divisions competitive. We sort of done some things this year with it. With the new guys, how do you think the balance is going to play out? Do you think we're going to have our normal division winners as far as the guys who've been here? Do you think there's some new guys who sort of stand out who are going to compete?
Well, he's not really a new guy, but I'd say the biggest person that stands out to me would probably be Spears. I mean, we've played with Spears in the past, and he had some good teams, but Spears is a really good player, and he's finally getting to take control of the Packers, which is his team. And you put a player like Spears with the Packers, and that can be dangerous. I feel sorry for those guys in the NFC North with him. They got their work cut out for them. But I think Spears is going to be a big player. I think Bryce with the Titans, man, I think he's going to surprise some people, and I think Rayford thinks he's got that South locked down, and I think he may have something else coming to him. If he's not careful, he might be on the outside looking in when playoffs roll around.
And that's right on time, because that was my next question. So obviously we're excited that Ray is back. He had a short stint in what we can call retirement. And he's back, and he's been a Super Bowl contender many, many years. He's been at AFC Championship a lot. You've given him a bunch of L's. I've given him a bunch of L's, especially lately. He used to give me a bunch of L's. What do you think about Ray being back as a commissioner, back as a player? And my question was, do you think we can pencil him in as a division winner, or is it going to take him some time to get back in the flow of things?
Ray's been that solid, consistent man. I mean, since I've been in the league, when I came back in Madden 10, Ray was top dog in that division. And there was years I won 12 games with the Titans and didn't make the playoffs, and that sounds stupid, but when you got a division that consists of myself and Ray Bailey and Mike Rash back in those days, the competition level's high. But I think right now, until somebody proves otherwise, that's probably Ray's division to take. I think if anybody can challenge him, it's probably going to be Bryce, from what I saw in the tournament. And what you got to keep in mind in that tournament is, you're starting over every game. There's no progression of players. And, if Bryce knows what he's doing as far as progressing his players and using that XP, Ray may be in trouble. But until he proves that, I'd say Ray's probably going to be the favorite to win that division, in my opinion.
Okay. So let's talk about the other divisions real quick. Let's start with the AFC. Give me your division winners.
It's going to be hard to deviate until somebody proves otherwise. But I'm gonna go ahead and call the Dolphins in your division. I think Brandon might be able to contend a little bit, but he's going to have to develop a running game. He runs 3 times a game, and until he does something with that, it's going to be awfully easy to I won't say stop, but at least game plan for.
He better run more.
He better learn that running game. But Brandon's a good player, man. I got to give Brandon credit. He's come a long way since this game has come out, and since Madden 16. Brandon's going to be a good one. The North, it is what it is. Till somebody knocks me off the throne, the North's mine. I'm gonna call Ray in the South. What users have we got in the other? Let's see.
We got Bobby. Bobby's the Rams. I think.
No, it's NFC. I'm talking about who's. Let's see. We got the new guy, Rich, he's with the Raiders. I'm gonna call Chiefs. I played the Chiefs guy in the tournament. Solid game. He's going to be tough. I'm gonna give that division to the Chiefs right now.
So right now we got what? Raiders, Chiefs, and is there anybody else in that division? Broncos.
I think Stanley's actually moving to the Broncos. He expressed some interest in that since our Broncos owner left. But he's not decided for sure yet. If we're switching, let's change the pace and go to NFC. I'm gonna call Spears with the Packers. Yeah, man, he's solid, and guys are gonna see that when they start playing. I mean, he's legit as can be, but I've never beat the guy, and I won't say that we've got a rivalry yet, but I'm looking forward to the day I finally hand him an L. Between Ronnie and Justin, who else is in Ronnie and Justin's division?
Ronnie, Justin, no one's. Is someone the Saints?
Seems like we've got them. I can't remember who it is though, but that's always a highly competitive division. Ronnie's been super successful, since Madden 16. He come off 2 Super Bowls last year, so right now I think he's got his work cut out for him. But I'm gonna give Ron the slight edge at the moment. It's the first year Steven's got to use the Panthers. He's going to be dangerous. I've played a couple pickup games with him, and he's tough to beat. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give Ron the edge right now and say Justin's going to get in on a wild card, and they'll probably face off in the title game.
All right, then that takes us to what? We got the East and
the West. I don't know, man. Dusty and the Seahawks. He's pretty dangerous for the Seahawks. I'm gonna say Dusty's gonna be up there. I don't know if he's gonna win that division or not. And the other ones, it's hard to call, man. I'm used to saying, Mike Bentley and the Eagles, without a doubt, but Mike Bentley's not here anymore. Um, that one's kind of up in the air. I don't know enough about those guys to call a winner right now over there. Yeah,
that's
I think
all
so.
new guys, right? Yeah, I can't think because all their previous guys didn't come over. I kept thinking Steven for a second, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Cody with the
so.
Cody with the Cowboys would probably be my early favorite. Cody's pretty tough, and
yeah, he beat me last year in our and then
he's pretty tough, and if you've played the Cowboys on this game yet, Zeke is he's hard to handle. So you give him to Cody, and Cody's gonna have a field day. So I'll probably give Cody the edge in that one.
All right, and that leaves. I know that's everybody. All right, so what about Super Bowl? First ever, well, second, but first real inaugural Super Bowl.
I've talked about him a few times, but I'm gonna have to put my boy Spears in the Super Bowl game. And I think Spears might actually pull off the first undefeated Red Zone season. I know we only had that happen a couple times in BFL, but I think if anybody can pull it off right now, it would probably be Ray Spears. AFC, man, I don't know. I think Ray might make his appearance back in the Super Bowl this season, but with Ray's record, I would say that he's probably going to lose another one. He doesn't do very well once he gets to the big game. I don't think he's won one since like Madden 11 or something like that. So
we're going with Spears over Ronnie. All right, that's even with Ronnie's dominance.
I'm gonna go Spears over Ronnie.
And then
I'm gonna go Ray.
Huh?
I'm not even gonna say Ray's gonna beat me. I'm gonna say Ray and Bryce in the AFC Championship game. One of them's gonna get a wild card. I don't know which one, but one of them's gonna get a wild card, and I'm gonna call Ray going to the Super Bowl. We're gonna have an all Ray Super Bowl.
We'll see. I've played some pickup games against Ray. I haven't been impressed, so we'll see. We'll see where he is, but he's always a player who develops his game as a season.
He's had some plays tucked in that hip pocket. He's pulled out on me the last couple of nights, so I'm sure you'll see those in the days to come. He's on the scoo, baby.
All right. Before we go, anything else you want to talk about? Anything you want to say to the guys?
Oh man, I just I'm really excited to get this thing going. I appreciate each and every one of the guys that's took a chance and hopped over from BFL with us. I think they've made a good decision. I think we're going in the right direction. I think they'll see that once we get, in a full stride here. And all the new guys, man, that was out there looking for leagues, I think you found one that you're going to be able to call home for a while, as long as you want to be here anyway. And hopefully, we've got, I think, 2, maybe 3 spots left open. Hopefully we can get those filled. If not, then some of these new guys are going to see what we're all about, and I would say they'll probably be inviting some friends before it's over with. So, I appreciate everybody that's going to run with us this time and help us get where we need to be. It's going to be fun.